Hey, Cinnamon Rage here, and this is race 16 of AOR Season 16, and this week we moved to Sochi in Russia. Going into this race, I'm 12th on 36 points, and my teammate is 6th on 108. So I'm kind of the B driver in this team, but we are sitting 4th just now, only 9 points behind Force India going into this race. So there's a possibility that we could actually do okay here. I did 3 qualifying laps. We knew the race was going to be wet, so we could go ahead, we could sort of do hyper soft because we were always going to have switched to intermediates because it did look like light rain on the radar. And unfortunately this is the first of 3 laps. The other 2 I invalidated, so unfortunately your first lap's never your quickest, and yeah, this was just not a great lap, but it was a decent banker and I always thought I'd improve. But the second lap, as I say, I went on and invalidated it at this corner here, where I ran a wee bit wide, barely wider than I ran there, yet it got invalidated. And then the last lap I invalidated maybe about halfway through, so that was quite frustrating as well. In fact, it might even have been later than halfway through, but ultimately it just meant another lap wrecked, so I had to fall back onto this, which was my fastest lap of the session, even though fast is being a little bit generous to it. This wouldn't get me very far up the table, but to be honest, if you're outside the top 10, it doesn't really matter. I wasn't going to get any advantage here from getting a new set of tyres, because everyone was going to get a new set of tyres, because as I say, when you go to a wet race, your tyre allocations reset obviously onto the wet compound tyres. Catherine there just getting out of the way as I come up to nearly the end of the lap. I was just struggling. I didn't get a lot of chance to practice this race for whatever reason, and it meant I'd only actually done 1 race sim, and that was about 2 hours before the start of this race. It's my teammate Jermo. So yeah, all things considered, it wasn't too bad. Teammate Jermo, he was 11th, I was 15th, which you maybe think, oh, beat 2 people, but Donut didn't manage to connect the session, and OK was in a qualifying ban, so realistically I was last. So getting into the race, as I say, it was going to be light rain, so intermediates, and at the start here I'd straight away decided, let's be cautious, let's not take any chances. LE Revolution doesn't get a great start, but just while I was trying to control the wheel spin off the start, I just kind of back out. And you can see here there's a bit of a coming together. I kind of take it quite easy, but it looks like my teammate Kezimodo and Bayfield, and I believe possibly Code's Ed, hit the back of Jermo, who gets spun into the side, and with all the rain and everything, I think Bayfield and Kezimodo could do nothing till the last second. So yeah, that really hurt them. No one DNF'd because of it, but I think all of them needed new wings. This has allowed me to go from 15th to 12th, and cutting on to a wee bit later in the lap, LE Revolution gets a bit of a bad exit here, and it allows me to start catching back up with them. I did start this race with the full 2.5 litres under the actual track limit, so I think that's 24.5 laps worth of fuel. I said 2.5 litres, I meant 2.5 laps under the actual race limit. So that's 24.5 laps, but I kind of figured I'd just run it in lean a lot of the time. It would easily make the fuel back up. I'd kind of moved out on LE Revolution there, but I was never going for the move. I was just trying to improve my sighting, given that I don't actually have racing line on, and in the wet it really hurts. You just can't see where anyone is. But I think he just ran a wee bit wide expecting me to dive bomb, but that was never my intention. So there's quite a few drivers quite close ahead, so I'm not far away. I'm in 12th, only a couple of positions away from the points. And as you know, last time, if you've watched my video, I got no points as I had a collision with Overrated Llama, who, unfortunately for him, although he did come back and make points, more unfortunately for me, he'd spun across me, and yeah, I lost my wheel on him. But LE Revolution, you can see there, had a wee bit of a bad run, and I managed to get past him, and I actually managed to break out quite a gap and start catching up Frobo as well. I think he had wing damage, but you can see here I got a wee bit distracted because I'd seen the yellow appear and ran a wee bit wide. But overrated Llama hit the wall, and you can see he's still moving, but I stay well wide because a repeat of Singapore would have been kind of upsetting. I believe Frobo got wing damage here, and he did pit a couple on that lap, but I'm skipping ahead to lap 14 where you can see my teammate coming around the second to last corner. He is going to get the jump on me. He had to pit on the end of lap 1, start lap 2 to get new, because I believe he lost his entire front wing. So he's going to get past me here, but he will still have to do another pit again. I believe Bayfield actually managed to push the tyres to the very end after pitting on lap 1, but I was about 45% at lap 13 when I pitted, so yeah, there was no way I couldn't do more than the one stop. And you can see there a tool spun, but I'm not obviously wishing someone to crash, but he didn't actually pick up any wing damage, and he manages to get back onto me quite quickly. I think he just spun, but did control it and managed to keep it fairly straight. But yeah, it meant that he gets quite quickly back onto the back of me, but for the most part I did manage to maintain the gap at about 3 seconds. Speaking to Jeff, I knew he had a 6-second penalty, I knew I had none, and at this point I was also catching up with Code Z, and you can see here I'm 12.4 seconds behind, and when I asked Jeff, Code Z was apparently on 9 seconds worth of penalties. So the goal was to try and catch up. Again, getting a bit distracted and running wide because I see the yellow marker ahead, and this time LE Revolution, who'd spun out and crashed as well, so fairly high rate of attrition. But I get to about 12.4 seconds, and by this point Code Z was in 12 seconds worth of penalties, but I just couldn't quite make it. I had got within 12 seconds, but I ran out of ERS and out of extra fuel. Although annoyingly I built up quite a lot in the last sector, so I could probably have ran an engine mode higher. But I did get 8th place, which to be honest, given the last race, pretty happy with. Unfortunately my teammate Jermo was 9th, and his pace really from his qualifying performances should have been way higher, but he just invalidated laps as well, so he never got to set a fast time. So more than happy with 8th. And then we have a 1 week break, so I'll see you in 2 weeks in Japan for race 17, getting really near the end of the season now of F6 and AOR. So if you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and I will catch you in a fortnight. Thanks.